All right, guys, welcome to another episode of 5 Minutes of Mike. I'm your host, Michael Beckford. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about gay fatherhood. All right. How the likes of a lot of DL dudes, they got a lot of babies and a lot of baby mamas. We'll get to it in a minute. This is 5 Minutes with Mike. Our news, our voice, our issues. Believe that.
Because I think in this social media environment, we gotta make sure that our culture isn't perceived as so microwavable. So that's why I'm writing a book, Rainbow Soul. Preserving the stories of Black gay pioneers in music. And also why I work with legacy organizations connected to strengthening, Black gay community. And so I wanted to talk about Cordell Lewis because of his particular significance. A lot of people learned his name through this viral family photo right here from 2014. Two Black gay fathers helping their daughters get ready for school, combing their hair. It's something very regular and something that we may take a little bit more for granted now, but that was just 2014 that was such a big deal. It shouldn't have been out the ordinary, but America. That photo became a cultural event. Some people saw it and felt affirmed. Some people saw it and got mad, but what it did was it raised awareness for Black gay men as parents. And of course, that backlash said more about the people than it ever said about Cordell and his family. Because what people were reacting to, Black fathers being present, gay men being nurturing, children being loved, a family not fitting into someone else's narrow little box. That's all they were upset about. And so Cordell's visibility mattered because he helped push back against the lie that Black queer people only exist in crisis, nightlife, scandal, or, some type of punchline. He showed something softer and more grounded, breakfast, school, mornings, parenting, family responsibility. And of course, no one's life is perfect, and his life didn't have to be perfect for his legacy to matter. And that is something I think that we really need to get better at. We do not need to honor people by pretending that they're flawless, but we do need to honor them and acknowledge the role they played, if any, in our collective life.
All right, man. So for all of you that will be celebrating Father's Day this coming Sunday, I wish you well with you and your kid and or kids. Enjoy the time with your kids, however way that you can make that time. And happy Father's Day to you all. Now, in regards to gay fatherhood, I think this is something that's, very well not really a topic that's not broached and or talked about in the LGBTQIA plus community. But it is recognized for a fact. A lot of these DL niggas, DL dudes have kids. Down low dudes, they have kids just by virtue of them being down low. And a lot of times they don't just have one kid. They got 3, 4, 5 kids by 2, 3 different baby mamas. Like, for real. Which is one reason why certain individuals question allegedly the sexuality of NBA YoungBoy, because of the fact that he has multiple kids by multiple different baby mamas. And not only that, there are some alleged rumors of him and Kevin Gates having some male on male contact, allegedly. All right. You guys can see the blogs and other things like that and see the pictures with Kevin Gates and him exchanging jewelry and other things of that nature, and even a tattoo. But anyway, but the main thing is, so you have a culture of guys that are in the lifestyle that are trying to essentially sleep away the gay. So what do I mean by that? So essentially, these, so a lot of the DL guys, download guys are bisexual, right? So, what I'm saying, we all know that they're, they're putting their penis into vaginas all the time. A lot of times they may have a girlfriend and a nigga on the side, or they just, fucking with a nigga on all of the particular apps that's available to them to hook up with dudes on the low, right? We all know these things. I've talked about these at length in some cases in my other previous videos. But the things that we don't know is the psychology behind it, right? Because there really is a psychology behind this thing. A lot of these guys, literally, they do not like their lifestyle in which it is that they're living, all right? They don't necessarily want to be hiding or in a quote-unquote closet or in whatever. But unfortunately, because of the nuance that society puts them in, they are basically moved and or shelved to the closet. They have a lot to lose. You know what I'm saying? They got, imagine they got 3, 4, 5 different baby mamas. Women talk. This presentation of 5 Minutes with Mike is brought to you by the groundbreaking book Homeboys by Michael D. Beckford. See what other individuals have to say about this book. Then grab your copy today, wherever books are sold. They get on the blogs, they get on snaps, they get on, they get all over the place. The moment they hear that their, so-called Prince Charming, their king, their masculine king is also taking some masculine D, then the buck stops there. It just does. And so what happens is a lot of the DL guys, the download guys, they're sleeping with women. They're sleeping with a ton of women to get rid of the gay, if that makes any sense. They're trying to sleep away the gay. All right. And so they feel like if they at least sleeping with women, that I ain't on that gay shit. Meaning that the gay shit is just something that's performative to a degree, something to kind of get their occasional rocks off with another masculine and or feminine guy. But at the same time, their true love, their true passion in their mind is women, because this is what they were taught. This is what they grew up on. This is what society says is right. And so, unfortunately, a lot of dudes, especially black guys, only understand how to conform with what society says. If society says that Jordans is the new hot thing, you're going to wear Jordans. If society says wearing these particular skinny jeans is the new hot things, you're going to wear skinny jeans. Like, we've all seen that most of the time, people dress like their peers. Hands down, point blank. Because nobody wants, especially in grade school, nobody wants to be picked on. Nobody wants to seem outside of the crowd. So this same thing applies when it comes down to the heterosexual, homosexual norms. Okay? None of these dudes want to feel like somebody can pick on them. None of these dudes want to feel like somebody can pick apart their sexuality. Because at the end of the day, although they are having these aka occasional moments with men, a lot of times they really do like that too. But they can't confess to this thing that they like and or adore and or want, because they have to, i.e. pray to get away, i.e. sleep to get away, i.e. you just don't associate with gay at all. Alright? But the reality is this. These guys have multiple kids, in some cases, as a front. It's like kids are their beard, if you know what I'm saying. They have these kids as a multiple front, kind of a shield that to always kind of question, oh no, Tyrone, Tyrone ain't gay. Hell no, that nigga ain't gay. That nigga got 6 kids from 4 different baby mamas. You think that nigga trying to fuck with some dude? What the fuck you talking about? Exactly. So That's the language of that. You know what I'm saying? And then unfortunately you have some of these DL dudes that ain't taking care of their kids. Once again, they having these kids out of just getting off a nut, and you know what I'm saying, keeping the child as, like I said, as a beard. But at the end of the day, some of them are not taking care of their kids. They're not necessarily doing right by their kids. They may not be in their kids' lives like they should be. But like I said, this is a fraction though of individuals. Studies have shown though that black males overall are actually in their kids' lives than any other race of individuals, by the way. So like I said, that's a small fraction that quote unquote may not be in their kids' lives, but a small fraction is too big of a fraction for any of us, right? And so when you think about these individual gays as we are entering into a moment of fatherhood and reflection, these individuals deserve a moment of understanding, if you would. Why? Because at the end of the day, they have to juggle so many different secret lives that juggling all these particular secret lives, they'll never fully understand the vested power in them to just go in the life in which they truly choose to be in. Okay? No, they won't. So they'll rather go find another girl, find another woman, I should say, sleep with her, get her pregnant, and bam, got another kid, got another beard, got another moment that you don't have to have your sexuality questioned. All around, these niggas are on what is it called, Sniffies or some bullshit app that's out there, on the, you know what I'm saying, the J's, the G's, Snapchats, all these different things, while this nigga just so happened just nutted off in his female, you know what I'm saying? And so it's a peculiar thing. Remember what I said earlier, it's a psychological thing, because you have these guys who are trying to debate themselves and understand why is it that they are so attracted to both sex. And now you have them now having to develop this even stronger sense of pride within themselves, because they're a father. They have to take care of another life, another human being. And then them as a father, they're like, man, I know how people feel in society about, you know what I'm saying, them punks around the corner. I don't want my baby boy having to deal with that. So then they're going to raise their child with a very sense of hard knock anti-LGBT spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's just natural, because they understand what they feel and what they've gone through in particular. Not necessarily the pain of members of the LGBTQ community, because they're not out, but the dissatisfaction of the fact that they themselves cannot be out because of the pressures they have felt upon from society itself for the lifestyle in which they choose, you know? So they're going to be extremely anti-LGBT when it comes down to raising their kids, because they understand how it feels for them as a father to want to come out and knowing that they almost never could, especially with, you know what I'm saying, individuals chirping, individuals, you know, I talked about an episode when it came down to Boston Richie and his secrets being revealed. You know, you guys can check out that episode as well. But long story short, you have these individuals that are choosing this DL lifestyle with kids. Some men prefer men that don't have kids. Some men do. Some men don't care. Some men just trying to get their rocks off. It really don't matter for some men. But for these men that are DL with kids, they are actually really living an extreme tightrope, because all it takes is 1 second, 1 minute of someone finding and exposing their secrets, that all hell breaks loose in their life. And unfortunately, these are also some of the men that are the ones that will unalive a person. We've all seen it, where trans men have been unalived, or trans women, however you want to call it, but have been unalived because a DL man was afraid that their secret would be exposed to the world. Why? He got 5 kids, 4 different baby mamas, and the last thing he need is his baby mamas to know his secrets and be exposed. All right, guys, thank you for listening to this episode of 5 Minutes of Mike. Hope you like, listen, and hype this video. And make sure you sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think. Have a blessed day.